What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another one. If you are new to the channel, I am Gold Pony. I do new car, truck, SUV reviews on YouTube, and today we are in the new 2022 BMW X3, courtesy of Apple BMW in York, PA. For more information on their inventory, please feel free to check out the link in the description box below. And so I'm in this one today because there has been an upgraded design for the 2022 model year. Not only that, you get some interior upgrades actually as well. And in addition to that, you do have 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance really with any new BMW, which is always kind of nice as well. And it's a whopping 7 degrees with the wind chill here today, so I thought it'd be the perfect day to get outside, you know. Anyways, in this video we'll be testing out and going over everything about this one, from acceleration to braking, steering feel, ride quality, sound system, exhaust clip, all of that fun stuff. So having said all that, what do you guys say? Let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, let's start with pricing it. So as you can imagine, there's a couple different configurations for the 2022 X3. You got the S-Drive 30i starting at $43,700, the X-Drive 30i, which is the one we have today, starting at $45,700, M40i for $57,800, and lastly the M starting at $69,900. And so as you can imagine, with all of those different configurations, there's a couple different engine setups to go along with them. First engine configuration is going to belong to the 30i trim levels. That is powered by a 2-liter twin power turbocharged inline 4-cylinder that puts out 248 horsepower at 5,200 RPM, 258 pound-feet of torque, coming in at approximately 1,400 RPM. Power center rear wheels are all wheels through an 8-speed automatic with paddle shifters, which you guys know as always we will be testing out here in a little bit. 0 to 60 time is going to come in at approximately 6 seconds flat. Top speed 130 miles per hour, with MPG numbers coming in at 23 in the city, 29 highway for the rear-wheel drive, 21 in the city, 28 then on the highway for the all-wheel drive. But so then that next engine configuration is going to belong to the M40i, and that's going to be powered by a 3-liter twin power turbocharged inline 6-cylinder. That's pretty cool. 382 horsepower at 5,800 RPM, 369 pound-feet of torque, coming in at 1,800 RPM. Power sent to all 4 wheels. That is an all-wheel drive system configuration only. 8-speed automatic with paddle shifter, 0 to 60 approximately 4.4 seconds. Top speed 130 miles per hour yet again. MPG numbers coming in at 21 in the city, 26 then on the highway. And of course you can conclude the M configuration is going to be even faster. That's really its own video though. So we're going to go ahead and keep on moving on here. So before we do any kind of paddle shifter or acceleration test here in our 30i trim level, I did want to mention to you guys the drive modes. They're located directly kind of to the left of the shifter there, and they will include Eco, Pro, Comfort, and Sport, adjusting things like the shift points, the throttle response, steering sensitivity, and actually the all-wheel drive system engagement as well. And so having gotten all of that out of the way, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and put the paddle shifters here to the test, and let's see how quickly they are going to react for us here. Here we go. Quick. Dang quick. BMW always crushes it with their paddle shifters. They are always lightning quick, so they're definitely going to provide a lot of fun. And of course you can also use the paddle shifters to do a little bit of downshifting when you're going down a hill here in Pennsylvania with all this snow. You're less inclined then to slide off the road because you're doing a little bit of engine braking as opposed to real braking with the actual brakes. But anyways, here's that 0 to 60 run in sport driving mode here in 3, 2, 1. Yep. All right, that is quick. Definitely not going to have any issues merging onto the highway. I'm going to slow down here because it looks like we got some ice, but yeah, that is plenty of acceleration. This is the 30i trim level. This is the least powerful engine for the X3, and still, having said that, plenty of acceleration to have some fun in this thing. But anyways, to go along with that acceleration, as always, braking is equally important. And so up front, you will find 13-inch ventilated front discs for the 30i trim level, 13-inch solid rear discs as well. Then if you were to go with the M40i, this is going to get bumped up to 13.7-inch front disc, 13.5 inches then in the back. As far as that 60 to 0 stopping distance goes, it's going to come in at 100 123 feet for the 30i, 112 feet, which is crazy impressive for the M40i. Having said that, as I'm coming up to a stop sign right now, braking feel is perfectly fine. It's exactly as I would expect it to be, and quite honestly, in a lot of SUVs, it's going to come in the 130, so even 123 feet in our 30i here today, that's plenty fine. So definitely not going to have any issues with the braking there. Then touching on suspension and handling, up front you're going to get an independent multi-link front suspension. In the back, independent 5-link rear axle, front and rear stabilizer bars, twin tube gas pressurized shock absorbers, and if you were to go with the M40i or the dynamic handling package for the 30i trim, which by the way goes for $1,400, you will also get an adaptive suspension, and that's the one I always like to recommend because that really does give you the best of both worlds. What it does is it monitors each shock absorber individually, not only tightening up the suspension during heavy cornering, giving you better handling, but also adjusting to the road imperfections, giving you a much smoother ride as well. And having driven over 600 cars at this point, I will say, for me at least, it is a noticeable difference. So if you want a smoother ride, but at the same time better handling as well, that is the package that you want to go with, at least if you go with the 30i trim level. So having said that though, ride quality has been perfectly fine. BMW always does very well with their ride quality, even if you don't go with that package, but it does get better essentially is what I'm saying. As far as steering feel goes, it is weighted extremely nicely. It tends to lean a little bit on the heavier side of things. And again, if you put it in that sport driving mode, it gets even heavier at that. So a little bit something for everybody there. As far as cabin noise goes, going kind of slow right now, but there isn't a whole lot of exterior wind noise or road noise coming into the cabin. Little bit because I'm driving over ice, but that is to be expected with any vehicle, I guess you could say. And I got the heat on as well, so you guys might be hearing that, but cabin noise is 100% on point without a doubt in this thing. Touching on visibility, I can see actually perfectly fine out the back. That is very good visibility for an SUV. Also, rain sensing windshield wipers do come standard, and there is a head-up display that comes with the premium package that goes for $3,450. That is going to project your speed limit, and safety information up on your windshield. But that about rounds out the performance segment of this review, guys. Let's now go ahead and take a look at the exterior of our brand new 2022 BMW X3. All right, so here she is, you guys, the new 2022 BMW X3 finished in Alpine White, in case anyone was curious of our exterior color name. But first thing I want to mention on the exterior is there is a slightly larger kidney front grille up front, one of the changes for the 2022 model year. And again, it's just a slight change, not a drastic thing or anything like that, but revised front fascia as well. You guys may have already noticed that. Up front there, you will find satin aluminum exterior trim. That's going to be the standard setup. Active kidney front grille as well, meaning those shutters within the front grille are going to open and close dependent upon the engine cooling that is needed at any given time. Adaptive LED headlights to the sides. They're adaptive, meaning when you're going around a bend at night, those headlights are actually going to swivel dependent upon the angle of your steering, better help illuminating what is around that bend. So you're less likely to hit a deer or a bicyclist or a person, so that's definitely a good thing as well. Gloss black accents is going to come with the M40i configuration. So we do have the satin aluminum trim because we don't have that, of course, but mentally replace all the aluminum with gloss black, and that is what that is essentially going to look like. Also with the M40i, you are going to get that M badging found in the front grille then as well. And then to the sides, you guys could probably see there are some front air curtains helping to direct air around the wheel and tire combination as well. And just to the side of that, you guys could probably see the parking sensor. So do have front and rear parking sensors, but I'll get more into that when we hit up the safety. But pretty much rounds out the front end of this one. Let's now go ahead and make our way to the side of the X3. All right, so now since we are around to the side of this one, satin aluminum roof rails are going to come standard on the 30i trims. Gloss black roof rails, like I was saying, for the M40i. Rear privacy glass is going to come standard either way, satin aluminum or gloss black window surrounds, depending, of course. Take a look at the side mirrors. They are body colored power folding side mirrors. They will be heated with LED integrated turn signals, and if you were to go with the M40i, they're actually going to be that C-shaped design. You guys may have seen that before. So the side mirror design is going to differ between those two trim levels, so I wanted to emphasize that. Also on the front fenders, you will find some M badging accents with the M40i. However, you're going to get those satin aluminum accents if you were to go with a 30i trim, and you guys could probably tell those satin aluminum accents are carried down to the side skirts then as well, which look pretty good. But I will say regarding those side skirts, that's swapped out for body colored side skirts for the M40i and the M Sport package package for the 30i trim level, so a little bit different there. Taking a look at the wheel configurations, 19-inch alloy wheels are going to come standard on the 30i and the M40i as well, varying in design of course, but it pretty much rounds out the side profile. Let's go ahead and make our way to the back where the changes continue. All right, so now since we are around back, let me go ahead and increase the brightness a little bit here. Body colored shark fin antenna found all the way to the top. Just below that, rear spoiler with an integrated brake light. Just below that, rear window wiper. But check out those taillights. They are brand new, redesigned for the 2022 model year. And of course, they are LED taillights for added illumination at night as well. If you were to go with the all-wheel drive configuration on the X3, you will find the X-Drive badging found on the right side of that rear tailgate there. Just below it all, you will find some satin aluminum trim found on the bottom portion of that rear bumper. Gloss black rear diffuser if you were to go with the M40i or the M Sport package for the 30i, by the way. And to the sides, dual exhaust outlets with chrome tips. So having said that, I do believe you guys know what we have to do next. As always, here is that exhaust clip. Alright, so now since we are around to the back of the X3, when it comes to opening that rear tailgate, it is a power tailgate that just comes standard. There's actually a hands-free tailgate that goes for $650 if you wanted to go that route as well, but there's a button on the key fob, there's a button on the tailgate, and there is a button on the driver's side door to go ahead and open that up then as well. But once opened up, cargo capacity comes in at 28.7 cubic feet behind that second row. If you were to fold that second row down, that is going to be bumped up to 62.7 cubic feet. And by the way, that is a 40-20-40 split as well, meaning those rear seats do fold down very flat, which I absolutely love. In that cargo area, it does have pretty much everything you could possibly want. Like literally, you have a cargo cover back there, there's LED cargo lighting, there's velour carpeting, which I thought was pretty cool, plenty of grocery bag hooks, you do have 4 cargo tie-down anchors as well, and there's even in-floor storage if you were to lift up underneath of that cargo floor as well. So like I said, everything you could possibly want back there. And I forgot to mention the 12-volt power outlet that is also back there. So very well done with the cargo area, BMW. Then making our way up to the rear legroom, that is going to come in at 36.4 inches. So for reference, I am even 6 feet tall. This is how much space I had in that second row. Rear ventilation is going to come standard, of course. There is a rear center armrest with cup holders as well. You do have dual phone charging ports back there. Heated rear seats are going to come with the premium package that goes for $3,450, but they will be available. And actually, rear window sunshades are available as well, though we don't have them today. That goes for $250 if you wanted to go that route as well. But then make our way up to the front seats. Power adjustable sport seats coming standard. Memory settings also coming standard as well. Sensitech upholstery is going to be the standard finish. However, there is a Vernasca leather finish that goes for $1,450 with plenty of color options if you wanted to go that route. Lumbar support is part of the convenience package that goes for $1,850. Heated front seats, part of the premium package that I just mentioned. Ventilated front seats then go for $350, but overall seating was plenty comfortable. I like the leg cushion extensions that we have here as well, so definitely was easily able to find my perfect driving position. And with it being 15 degrees out right now, the vehicle is saying, I'm loving these heated seats. But anyways, then making our way to the steering wheel, it is tilt and telescoping, it is leather wrapped, and I just realized it is heated on our configuration that we have here today. By the way, the heated steering wheel goes for $190, but I'm definitely going to be turning that on because like I said, it's freezing. Then making our way to the startup, let me first start by showing you guys the key here. Essentially, all of your buttons are on one side of the key. You got lock, unlock, and that button pop the rear hatch. And by the way, the lock button is the BMW logo for those not familiar with BMW. So it is all keyless entry with a push button start, so all I'm going to do here is simply put my foot on the brake and press that engine start button, which is silver and located just to the left of the shifter. And so once started up, it is a 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster that is going to come with the M40i, and it's a $900 package option for the 30i, and that's the one we have today. But having said that, the standard gauge cluster is your typical analog cluster with a 5.1-inch display screen in the middle, but we don't have that, so I'm not going to touch too much on that, but my favorite part about this digital gauge cluster is when you change the drive modes, it drastically changes the look of the gauges. So if I were to put it in Eco Pro mode, it's going to give me a bunch of blue hues. If I were to put it in Sport, it's going to give me a bunch of red. And then if I were to put it back to Comfort, it's going to give me a bunch of orange hues, I guess you could say. But I love that it changes that. It displays the navigation information within the center portion. So if you see some awkward lines, that is what that actually is. It gives you your outside temperature, of course, speed limit of any given road, and your range, meaning how many miles you have left until you hit empty, and it goes on and on. Pretty much everything you could possibly want up there. But then making our way to overall interior quality, there is a panoramic moonroof that comes standard on the M40i and is available for $1,350 that we do indeed have here today on our 30i trim. Anthracite headliner is going to come standard. There are also universal garage door openers for up to 3 different garage doors found just below the rear view mirror there. Dual zone climate control coming standard, dark oak wood trim, which I absolutely love, highlighted by the ambient lighting that we have on right now. And I'll get to that when we get to the tech portion of this review. Auto dimming interior lighting, that's another pretty cool feature. There is a wireless phone charger that is going to come with this one. So overall, BMW did a very good job with the subtle details like the aluminum trim accents found on the doors that continue on just above the passenger side glove box, as well as the glove box handle then as well, which is pretty cool. I like the X3 insignia just in front of the cup holders, and you're going to find some rubberized storage just below that. There's a 12-volt power outlet, and of course your cup holders then as well. And within the center armrest, you will find a decent amount of storage there, and there's actually a phone charging port within that as well. But overall, as expected, the interior is finished just fine. This is a BMW after all, so no issues there for me. Then making our way to the tech display here, the infotainment screen. It is a 10.25-inch color touchscreen display, and so you can control it through the touchscreen. There is a circular dial and buttons just to the right of the shifter, and it is voice activated, by the way, as well. But Bluetooth audio streaming do come standard, Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. There is a factory navigation system that does come standard as well. You gotta love that. You can check out your climate control information up there. Of course, like I was mentioning, the ambient lighting settings can be adjusted up there for a bunch of different colors and brightness as well. And of course, you can adjust your radio information. And by the way, there is a standard sound system that comes with the X3 across the board, and that is going to be a 12-speaker hi-fi sound system with 205 watts. So having said that, what do you guys say? Let's go ahead and turn on the radio here. Let's see what we got playing this morning, and let's test out the clarity of this one.
And it makes no sense, but you say that's what faith is for.
Hillsong United is so good, but quite honestly, that 12-speaker sound system, that was plenty fine. Definitely a good bit of bass, which I didn't expect because it's not, I guess, a name brand sound system on a BMW, but still, that was a pretty darn good sound system for the X3 without a doubt. But last thing I want to mention to you guys on the infotainment screen at least is when you do put the X3 in reverse, you of course will find a rear view camera coming standard across the board, letting you know who or what is behind you, which is always is going to lead us into safety. And so front side curtain airbags do come standard. In the back, you're going to have latch, aka lower anchors to tethers to children for the rear car seats, rear child door locks, tire pressure monitoring system, but also coming standard being frontal collision warning, blind spot monitoring system, lane departure warning, and speed limit recognition then as well. So overall, when it comes to my final thoughts, this thing has got plenty of power, excellent braking, quick paddle shifters as always with every BMW that I test. Digital gauges are wonderful as well. You gotta love the 3 years of complimentary maintenance. It's definitely gonna save you some money there too. The only constructive criticism, probably because it's a luxury brand, is this thing does have a lot of options, meaning it can get very pricey if you were to continue to tack on those additional options. So didn't want to mention it. But anyways, let me know what you guys think of the X3 in the comment section below. That is about it for this one, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to follow me on social media at the bottom of the screen if you wanted to see what's coming next on the channel before it gets to YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe and the bell notification button if you're into new car reviews. That is what we do here on this channel after all. Do appreciate you guys watching more than you know, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Stay warm, stay safe, and stay gold.